Jai Swaminarayan. Today let's read the 27th passage from the second Gadhadā. It's titled, The Great Are Pleased When No Impure Desires Remain. Let's dive right into it. Pardon me. On Kartik Siddhi the 11th, Samvat 1879, or the 25th of November 1822, Swami Sri Sahajanandji Maharaj was sitting on the veranda outside the south-facing rooms of Dada Khachar's Darbar in Gadhadā. He was dressed entirely in white clothes. A garland of white and yellow Guldavadi flowers adorned his neck, and tassels hung from both sides of his pug. At that time, an assembly of Paramhansas as well as devotees from various places had gathered before him. Thereupon Sriji Maharaj asked Muktananda Swami, "What causes anger to arise within you? Also, how much of that cause does it take for you to become angry? As for me, even if someone squanders anything from 1 to 100,000 rupees, I would not become angry for my own sake. Yet if someone transgresses their own dharma, or if an arrogant person abuses a meek person, or if someone sides with injustice, then for the sake of another person, I do become angry for a brief moment, but I never do so for my own sake. Even when I do express anger for another's sake, it does not last even for a second, nor is any grudge formed. So my question to you is, what causes anger to arise within you, and how is it dispelled?" To this, Muktananda Swami replied, "Anger arises due to association with some objects, or in seeing perversity in a person, but it subsides instantly." Then Sriji Maharaj asked, "By what thought process do you manage to do that?" Muktananda Swami replied, "First, by contemplating upon God's glory, I realize I do not wish to retain any swabhavs that would displease God. These are deep-seated impressions, such as anger. Secondly, after examining the path of sadhus, such as Shukji and Jadbharat, I think such an inappropriate swabhav does not suit a sadhu." Then Sriji Maharaj commented, "Such a thought that is capable of repelling the force of lust, anger, etc., transcends the gunas, the material qualities, and it is firm in your jiva, soul. In fact, such thoughts that repel the influence of lust, anger, etc., are due to the sanskars of past lives, impressions. Moreover, regarding your nature, I know this much. Initially, you may become attached to any worldly object that you come across, but ultimately you do not remain attached to it. You are capable of breaking that bondage." Thereafter, Muktananda Swami questioned, "Why does this deficiency of becoming influenced in the first place still remain?" Sriji Maharaj replied, "Each of the 8 factors of time, place, company, etc., has a force equal to that of the past samskars. Thus, when one encounters them, they overpower the force of the past samskars. After all, if good deeds and bad deeds are performed only by the influence of one's samskars, then all of the distinctions of moral do's and don'ts, i.e., this should be done and this should not be done, as prescribed in the Vedas, the Shastras, and the Purans, would become meaningless. But these scriptures, which have been written by the great, can never become false. Just see, Jai and Vijay behaved improperly and thus fell from the abode of God, where there is no influence of Kal, Karma, or Maya. On the other hand, Prahlad pleased Naraji, and thus, even though circumstances were adverse, they were able to hinder him. Conversely, even though circumstances were favorable in Jai Vijay's case, because the Sanakadik were angered, Jai Vijay fell from the abode of God. Therefore, one who wishes to attain liberation should do whatever pleases the great Purush person. Such a Purush becomes pleased when there are no traces of impure desires left within one's heart. One should keep in mind, though, that one who harbors anger and other such vices towards the meek will also develop such feelings towards the great, and therefore also towards one's Ishtadev, the personal form of the divine. Thus, a person wishing to attain liberation should not harbor any vicious feelings towards anyone. If they do, then they are sure to develop ill feelings towards devotees of God, and then eventually towards God as well. That is why if I have upset even one meek person, I think, God resides as Antaryami, as the indweller in all. While staying in one place, he knows what is in everyone's heart. Since he must also be present in the heart of the person whom I have upset, I have offended God as well. Realizing this, I bow down to them, give them whatever they wish, and do whatever is necessary to please them. Having said this, Sriji Maharaj continued, I have thought and realized that if one maintains too much renunciation or too much compassion, then one cannot offer bhakti, loving devotion, towards God, thus causing a breach of upasana, worship. For example, from the past we noticed that upasana eventually perished in those who were extreme renunciants. Therefore, having thought about this, and for the sake of preserving upasana, I have relaxed the emphasis on renunciation and have built mandirs, temples of God. Thereby, even if only a little renunciation remains, upasana will at least be preserved, and through it many jivas, souls, will attain liberation. On the other hand, how is it possible for a person who wishes to offer bhakti to God to retain compassion like that of Jain sadhus? After all, a devotee is required to pick flowers and tulsi for God. They are required to bring various types of vegetables and cultivate gardens for God. They must also build mandirs. Therefore, one who sits idly, maintaining extreme renunciation and compassion, is unable to offer bhakti to God. When bhakti diminishes, the upasana of God is also destroyed, and a lineage of blind followers results. That is why I have had mandirs built for the purpose of preserving God's upasana forever. Moreover, a devotee never deviates from one's dharma, the righteous duty. Hence, to perform the bhakti and upasana of God while maintaining one's dharma is my principle. Thank you for listening. This has been the 160th discourse from Sriji Maharaj in the Vachanamrut. Jai Swaminarayan.